babe. I think you need to step further back.
You can't see my top.
Okay, a bit closer. Just don't come in my breathing space.
Oh, because we're socially distant.
That's such an apt description of me.
Socially distant.
We were sent these. We'll tell you who sent them later.
Yeah, thank you.
They're really nice. I really like them. And I mean, you're not socially distant, though, are you? You're very socially present. I mean, you're almost a tart.
And we're not socially... Mark! We're socially distant. What's up? We're together with you two guys. Welcome to the No Name Sunday show.
Where are we going?
Get your hand off my boob.
Where are we going?
That's not my boob, actually. That's my boob.
What? Your sense of your anatomy. I have not got my hand anywhere near your boob. Get your hand away from my...
Well, the way my boobs are looking at the moment, they're pretty close to my bum.
Boobs down there is quite a good idea, isn't it? Boobs.
Anyway, welcome to the No Name Sunday show.
Dogs.
Oh! I'm trying to do a chihuahua sound.
Do a chihuahua.
Sorry.
So who are these from?
These are from a lady called Victoria, and the company's Bear Hug. And you know, like lots of people, when lockdown kicked in, she had to adapt her business, and she never thought that people would like these, and loads of people do. Socially distant.
Really?
Not distant, so
Yes.
I really like it. So thanks, Victoria from Gloucestershire. The company's called Bear Hug, if you fancy one.
Now, you are a fan of the veggie, and the first dish of the day doesn't fill me with hope.
It's a vegetarian one, but you can make it vegan. It's blooming delicious. It's cauliflower cheese with a NADIA Sawalha-Adderleys twist.
It's not vegetarian, it's got bacon in it.
We just don't put the bacon in if you're a vegetarian. Oh my goodness, subs. I'm glad it's a really rainy weekend, because I am going to get rid of those Christmas decorations this week. I've had it now. We need a new fresh moment, don't you think, Mark?
Yeah, I talked about it in the vlog yesterday. I was vlogging yesterday.
I've had enough of it now.
It's
depressing
a bit like when you walk down a really tired seafront that's lost its moment of grandeur.
It's gotta go.
And do you know why I
Gotta
think
go.
it's really depressing?
Why?
Well, because Christmas is kind of fake anyway, but we all sort of sign up to it, and it was extra fake this year.
I'm going to make a really nice, comforting dish. Now, it's now Saturday when I'm cooking this. Obviously, you'll be watching it on a Sunday. And on Thursday, we were supposed to be cooking this, but Mark and I had a massive row about it when I told him what I was cooking. And he went, ugh, that's disgusting, cauliflower.
Well, look.
We don't need to do the row again, but all I'm saying is, so there was a delay in it. So, people that might feel the same way and go, ugh, disgusting cauliflower, this is a really lovely way to do it. It looks really nice. And because we've got more time at home, I think it's nicer to take dishes that we would normally have and do something a little bit extra with them. So, because I think it's quite nice. That's a bit limp, so I'm going to take that one off.
No, it's not. What are you saying?
Mark! No. So just take those outer ugly ones off so that we're left with those pretty green. Gives us a bit of colour.
Do you know what it looks like?
What?
It looks like Joaquin Phoenix's hair as the Emperor in Gladiator.
Oh my God, Mark, that's a tenuous link. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the centre out. Okay, and now I'm going to put it into my steamer. Nice hole. Now, often the problem with cauliflower cheese is I think you get horrible watery cauliflower. Now you won't with a steamer like this. I'm expecting that to take about 15 minutes, but obviously the advice would be you just pierce it and just check how it feels. Some people like a really, I mean, my sister likes all her vegetables almost raw.
Wasn't cauliflower cheese the dish you had at school that had such a creamy, that's my only experience of it. So
Exactly.
to be fair, it was insipid, it was extraordinarily sickly, and there was that sort of taste of cauliflower at the back of it.
But you should know, having been married to me for 18 years and me having done 5 cookbooks and 1 Celebrity MasterChef, that never in a million years am I going to give you a cauliflower cheese like that.
No, I know that. But I'm merely explaining.
How often does he say, "Oh, I hate this," and he eats it because actually it's really
Yeah,
nice.
but I'm sure there are families all over the land that say that. But
Exactly.
you're right.
So if you're saying to your family, if you see this and you think, "Oh, I'm going to cook that," and you go, "Cauliflower cheese," tell them to shut people.
Toffee. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you like cauliflower cheese? Toffs?
She's just so desperate because I've got a cubed bacon there.
Oh,
That's what she wants.
is this what you want, Toffs?
That's
Look,
what
this.
you want,
This.
isn't it? She's been funny this morning, this one. Haven't you? Okay, so next I'm going to make a really nice white sauce, cheese sauce with 3 cheeses. We're going to use Parmesan, Red Leicester and mozzarella. You don't have to, you can just use cheddar. So I'm going to start off with my white sauce, 50 grams of butter and 50 grams of flour. So for those of you that have seen me make a white sauce lots of times and you might be thinking, oh, you don't need to tell us, Nadia. I do always need to tell because as we're seeing from Mark's, we did the first episode last week of Mark Cook, Won't Cook, we haven't decided fully yet what we're calling that.
On your mark, get set, cook.
Mark's Get Set Cook. You know, Mark's watched me make things tons and tons of times and filmed them and then edited them, and he forgets the little tips. So I will always repeat the little tips. So you always have equal amounts of butter and flour. Obviously you would weigh this, but I can kind of guess. So this is the really important stage when you're making a bechamel sauce, is that your butter and flour is cooked through before you add the milk, and then you cook it a little bit more, because another problem with the school cauliflower cheese was that the sauce was absolutely disgusting. And that was either because it was just like, you know, just a sauce, I'm just going to put a bit more flour. You know, just a very thin sauce, like Mark said, a watery sauce, or they hadn't cooked the flour enough and, ooh, it tasted of flour. Really, when you make these sauces, you need to make them in a non-stick pan, especially if you're a newer cook. Add your milk a little at a time. Again, if you're really novice, it's worth just taking the chill off your milk. Maybe putting it in a microwave just for a minute. I'm just going to change over to a wooden spoon. I can't believe it. I think I've added a bit of, I think I might have overcooked my butter there. You don't want it brown like that. That's all that talking. Yeah. Now don't be frightened. A lot of people when they see this, when they're making a sauce, they go, oh my God, what's happened? It's all gone lumpy. You're just adding a little milk at a time and then you won't get lumps. My heat was definitely a little too high, but it won't matter at all in the scheme of things. You would think, oh my God, that's a disaster. And I do think with a lot of TV cooking, they don't say things like that. And so you kind of miss that bit. You don't really see it. And then when you try to, or actually more so in cookery books, I think sometimes people end up feeling such a failure, and it's such a shame, because with a few more lines in the recipe saying, it will look like it's gone totally tits up, don't worry. Okay, so you see how it's going a bit smoother now? And now we can add the milk bit by bit. Of course, another thing you can do is buy a jar of white sauce.
Dolmio.
Yeah, buy a jar of white sauce. No, I mean, I don't like to use a white sauce unless I'm absolutely knackered sometimes. I always have a jar in the cupboard because I don't know about anyone else, but so often when I'm making lasagna, I get to the last layer and I've run out of bloody sauce. Just gonna add the rest of the milk all in one go. You can't compare the flavour though. I mean, you just can't.
So this dish would be good for vegans if you didn't include the bacon,
You could
right?
use plant-based milk. I don't like vegan cheese. I've got a problem with vegan cheese. I don't like it. But if you like vegan cheese, and it's a lot of the flavour is from the cheese. So, but if you like vegan cheese, absolutely, you would just use dairy-free. Do everything exactly the same, but use dairy-free spread and a plant-based milk. Not watery, not disgusting, not. Okay, that's fine. Get a bit longer. Okay, it's a little while later, maybe another 5 minutes. Look how gorgeously smooth and thickened that is. Right, don't worry that this bacon looks a bit of a strange colour. It was because it was in the freezer and I put it in the microwave to defrost it and just overdid it a bit, so it got a little bit cooked, but it's fine. So, a little bit of oil. Now, these are...
What sort of oil is that?
Just any oil, sunflower oil, not olive oil, any vegetable oil. So, these are smoked bacon lardons, so they're a chunkier bacon. I don't mind that fat because that's going to go really crisp and nice. But you can, of course, just use, you know, I mean, I do think a bit of a fattier bacon is nice, like a streaky, but you can use whatever bacon you like. And I'm just going to cook that until it's nice and crispy. Okay, and while that's going on, let's finish off our cheese sauce. So, a teaspoon of mustard. Lots of people don't like mustard. Really easy, just don't add it. This is my favourite go-to mustard. It's very important. It's that Grey Poupon, not just any Dijon, Grey Poupon. I absolutely love it. But you can use whatever mustard you like. I mean, a grainy mustard would look nice in this. I probably did a teaspoon and a half there, actually.
Could you use horseradish?
I was thinking about that because I've got some fresh horseradish out there. I was thinking about that, Mark, but I don't know. I didn't know whether the horseradish and the cheese would be nice. Maybe I should do it. Do you know what? I'm going to add a bit more mustard. I would say 2 teaspoons if you're doing a pint of cheese sauce. Because this is a bit of a milder one. Obviously, if you've got a stronger one, then less. Oh, yum. I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese because we can use less of it with more flavour. 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. But as I say, you can do away with all these cheese ideas and just have cheddar. Just do whatever you usually do for a cheese sauce. But we're making this a little bit special. Lots of black pepper. Okay, so that is yummy. I like my bacon like that. This is why I always struggle with my weight, guys. You know what I'd love to do now? Get a piece of bread. So I've wiped out my pan, so you can use the same one. And I've got a whole bunch of spring onions here. Actually, to tell the truth, I was going to use leeks. I had a lovely bunch of leeks, and I was looking at them and I thought, what's happened to them? They arrived green and now they're white, and I just thought, oh, that's not going to look very nice. So I'm using spring onions, but you can absolutely use either. The reason I wiped out that pan is if you cooked those spring onions in the bacon fat, it wouldn't be nice, they'd just be slimy. You do need butter, like with leeks. So a little butter, but again, if you're vegan or if you're watching the calories, you can just put a little bit of oil. Start with the white onions, because I don't want to lose all that colour, and soften them first. It's only because I'm being fussy. You don't have to do that. We want it to look good for the gram, don't we, Mark? So we need some green. if this wasn't going on the gram, I would just bung it all in.
The gram.
What's the gram?
You never refer to it like that. You've
do.
obviously heard someone this
No,
week
but
call
taking
it the
the
gram.
piss.
Ah.
Because all the influence going on the gram. I'm having a great time on the gram.
Oh.
Okay, so now we can add the rest. I get so excited when I put colourful vegetables in a nice pan, and I've got a nice pan, and I'm so lucky. That's my little spark of joy. I get real sparks of joy in the darkness and the misery of things like, oh my God, I've got beautiful crispy bacon just sat there draining. Oh my God, look how beautiful those spring onions are. You know what, as I'm doing this, Mark, I'm laughing because I'm thinking...
Because you're amusing yourself? I'm not laughing.
I'm thinking about one of the family guests, I can't remember who you are, but we were doing a live or something. We were talking about everything in the Sunday show, and we were talking about the cooking, and somebody went, oh, I always visually fast forward past the cooking.
Oh yeah, when we did the live
And
show.
and she would probably be very much now going, really? What? You get a buzz out of green
Yeah, but
spring onions?
that's what's good about this show. It caters for everyone.
Look how pretty it is. Look. So again,
It's pretty. It's green.
it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's green.
Um,
So you're really pimping up your cauliflower cheese, aren't you? This is,
well, I mean, yeah,
nice.
why not? Because there's loads of recipes with just, this is my cauliflower cheese with my twist.
But I never had it like this.
Right, I really want to use this pan again, but really, again, for the gram. I should wash this pan. Because I'm a bit worried what it might look like in the photograph. What do you think?
Well, the cauliflower cheese is going to be on top of it. The cauliflower itself will cover most of it. I know.
Could just put more cheese around it so no one sees it. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's so funny if you come back and I've suddenly got a load of peas or something around it. Show them my pan. We had a lot of debate, and in the end it was like, come on Nadia, just wash the pan. But I am telling you, if I was just making this with the family, there is no way I would have washed that pan. The funny thing is, it took about 2 seconds. I'm going to put my beautifully cooked cauliflower cheese into the pan. And here I have, something I didn't do, which I should have done when I left my cheese sauce, was put a piece of cling film over it. Because when you put a piece of cling film over it, it doesn't get a skin. Red Leicester, because I want that colour. I want the red, I want the green, I want people to go, oh! I thought you said we were having cauliflower cheese. This is nothing like a cauliflower cheese. So, next thing we're going to do is pour our sauce on. And then we're going to put the cheese.
I wonder if we could do a wasabi cauliflower cheese.
Yeah, again, it's horseradishy, why not?
The girls were remembering the amount of effort and detail we put into snowmen yesterday.
Oh, we
So,
go
Dad, do you
to
remember?
town.
We
go
used to
to
use
town.
beetroot to give them blushed cheeks. I put one of your sports bras on them, so
That's
they were always
right.
snow women.
We should try and find the photos of those. I'm a bit jealous at the moment of all the places with snow.
Well, apparently we're going to get it this weekend.
But you know what they did on your news yesterday? They were saying children have been seen out enjoying the snow. Can they not do it? No social distancing. I was like, oh, for the love of God. So I'm going to put a little bit of mozzarella. It won't give any extra flavour, but it will give us a bit of that, oh, nice, like pulling up the cheese moment.
Will give us theatricality.
Give us theatre, darling. In it goes. Oh, macaroni. Oh, it's not macaroni, it's cauliflower cheese. Oh, shit. Look, because Kiki did her haircut, look, one eye is so much bigger than the other. He's a cute kid. Oh, what do you think, guys? Look at that bubbling away. Do we want it more bubbly?
It's certainly a centerpiece for a table.
Oh yeah. Imagine that alongside your roast. I mean, we would have this as just a meal, but you could have that alongside your roast.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put our bacon. I don't think that'll sit on top actually. And then our beautiful green.
It's full of colour, isn't it?
It's full of promise.
Well, I can honestly say that is nothing like the cauliflower cheese I was expecting.
Thank
I was
you.
thinking of the insipid, dead, corpse-like colour of school.
Thank you.
Look at that, guys. Perhaps you should, Nads, to help people get their head around what sort of a cauliflower cheese you're doing, maybe you should use a photo on the gram.
I'm going to put it on the gram, guys. I'm going to put it on the gram. Oh, feeling it on the gram. Feeling it on the gram.
That sounds like...
I'm not even going to say Mark because you'll use it. Just wanted to say another tip if you wanted to. If you can't be faffed with all that frying the onions, it's not a lot of faff. But I buy these big bags from Indian shops of fried onions and they last for ages just in an airtight box. They're fantastic. They're so good on top of a macaroni cheese as well, or on like a toasted cheese sandwich. So you could just sprinkle a bit of that for an extra crunch and an extra prettiness and an extra, oh, what's that? God, I'm sorry. Read it and weep, guys. Read it and weep.
Okay, well, given that you're down with the kids,
Down with the kids.
where are you taking us?
I'm going to the gram. I'm going to the kids. I'm going to, what's making us laugh, man? On the gram, man. I'm going on the gram, man.
Hi guys. Sorry, we've just been literally talking about I had to have a go at a guy in the park who spat on the floor and I lost my shit so badly.
I've seen so many people spitting on the
I had to
floor
say to him, I said,
recently.
are you...
Because I remember saying when this first started, I was like, people better not carry on, because people always spit on the floor.
Yeah.
When you're like walking and people go, I'm like, I really hope people stop spitting now that there's a global pandemic.
But no.
I remember during summer, everyone was just going, like in the common, and I was like, I'm
like,
going to
what?
step in that
Yeah,
later.
yeah, exactly. Dogs are going to run in it, lick it. They're going to be. What if a toddler fell over? I said to him, "Are you
Yeah, what if a
running
toddler fell
in an
over and their hand
alternate?"
went
Yeah, I
in?
said, "Are you running in an alternate universe? This is just bizarre. Like we're right next to a COVID test centre."
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Twat.
gross.
Sorry, guys.
So-
Here we go. Let's have some funny shit.
Trying to look out the window, but the chair's turning.
Oh, bless him. Oh my God! It could go on forever.
Just use it.
That's so sweet.
I thought the door was closed. Because it's glass, but it's open.
Oh. Oh.
Wait.
Oh. That's so cute.
So cute.
That's so cute.
Me sending my friends encouraging messages, even though my life is a hot mess too. With the wine and the cat.
Oh my God.
Oh goodness. This is so mean. So he's next in the pub and they close the door and it's so
It's gone all over him. That was really mean.
Look at his, he looks so shocked after it happens. Oh, it's so cool.
What pub are they in?
I don't know. It's one of those play things.
Oh my!
Look at the way she disappears, mate.
Has it just gone?
She literally disappeared.
Just gone to hell. Oh my god, that looks so
I know,
dangerous.
but it is so fun. When you break something and you fix it just enough so the next person that uses it thinks
It's exactly the face.
it's so true.
Because you know you've covered your
I
back.
do that all the time, yeah.
Oh,
or when you're like at
no.
a friend's house and you break something and you're like, shit, and then they'll go and do it and they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, how'd you do that?
Then part of you thinks, like, in the universe, did you not break it?
Yeah.
I just didn't break it.
Yeah.
Okay, look here. I want crack it! Crack it! Fuck off! Fuck off! Okay, look here. I want crack it! Crack it! Fuck off!
It's the look of total vacancy on the guy kissing him's face.
Me to my family as soon as lockdown's over.
Fuck off, everyone! I'm gone. Fuck off, everyone! I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Oh my god.
When the pubs finally reopen and one of the lads gets you a pint.
I like it.
Oh, it's so funny.
I like it.
This cat standing
my
on a windowsill
God.
looks like he's about to say something Italian.
Yeah. Pasta figurellini.
My brain every time I get a slight headache. The
Symptoms. Oh, that's good.
Oh god. When your mate adds someone new to the group chat.
I'm off, mate. See you soon. Alright, mate. Who was that? Just a friend. You've made a new friend? Oh, a friend? Since when have you had other friends? Oh, friend. I knew him from when we was doing trials at West Ham. He's moved into the area. He's just some guy. Some guy? Oh, he's just some guy. Oh, he's just some guy. That's all it is. Just a friend from when Jay had trials at West Ham that never happened. Don't forget the thumbs up. Oh, friend. Oh, new friend. He's my friend. Oh, friend. Oh, friend. Fuck you lot. Where's the beer?
So funny. Hey, what's that stuffed with? What's your jacket stuffed with, motherfucker? It's feathers.
Oh god. Imagine if a goose did chase you.
Oh god.
I'd love
Oh,
that.
that's so funny.
Goose feather.
You might win a cooking show by cooking good food, but this is the only way you win Gordon Ramsay's heart.
You guys cook like old people fuck.
Oh my god. That came out of the blue. Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
You guys cook like old people fuck.
Oh my god. That came out of the blue. Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
He has
I love
elicited
him
the
so
Ramsay
much.
respect.
Yeah.
It's the RR they call it.
Exactly.
I'll put a kettle on. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Wait, look. Yeah, I'm doing it again.
Bless him. It's so cute.
So cute.
There's like no effort in
What
it
Chi-Chi
at
and
all.
Toffee need to do to save their back legs. Broken hearted, I'm broken hearted, I'm so
This is really funny. It really
broken-hearted.
reminded me of Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
So the owner, like, I think he steps on the dog's paw or something. But just listen
Like
to
you
the
did
noise.
last night.
Yeah, but just listen to the noise that the dog makes.
It's like he's drawn on a fan.
So much. This just made me laugh. I don't know why.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like confused all the time. I just fucking never know what's going on. Like, I mean, I never know. I don't know. It's quite confusing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just like confused all the time. I just fucking never know what's going on. Like, I mean, I never know. I don't know. It's quite confusing.
It's quite confusing.
I don't know.
Oh god, this is really cute.
All right, let's see if Charlie's in a no sitting down. Okay. All right, so here's what I found out. If I cry before she does, all is well. Here we go, watch this. Ah! I hate sitting in this chair. Man, this chair sucks so bad, I just don't want to sit in this chair anymore. I really hate sitting in this chair. I don't want to do it anymore. Like, this chair sucks so bad. I just hate it. I don't want to sit here. I just really, every time I think about sitting in this chair, I just get mad.
This goes back to listening. I thought it was
So cute. That's what we should have done with you.
Look at she's so cute. Like how excited this dog is.
Happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that. Happy, oh, the happy dog. Oh, just a happy good boy.
He's so cute.
He's wagging his head more than his tail.
Happy guy. Oh, just a look at that. Happy, oh, the happy dog. Oh, just a
Oh my
happy
god, they're so life affirming, aren't they, pets?
I know, I love them so much.
So sweet. Almost makes me want a dog. Should we get a dog? Toffee and Chi Chi aren't dogs.
I just really love this painting. Really like it too much.
Oh yeah.
Skeleton in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the back of its head,
I
wouldn't
love it
it?
so much.
Oh wow.
Mirror, yeah.
That's so cool. Of course, the back of a skeletal head is a cranium.
Yeah, I found this quite cute for the video. It made me cry. I don't know why.
So the music from
Yeah. That's probably why I made me cry. It's before COVID. I mean, sorry, not that during.
Oh wow. Wow, where's that?
So beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh.
This is really scary. This is a girl sleepwalking.
Welcome to Sleepwalking with me.
The dogs are so funny. Look at the dogs. The dogs are just look how the dogs are looking at her. Dogs.
Oh my god.
It made me laugh so much.
She's the
I
creepiest
know.
person I've ever come
Everyone's like
across.
she's like a huge baby.
She did. She want.
But the dog's just staring at her like this.
Well, the dog. Yeah, I love dogs. They're kind of like
Me too. They just
on
put up
standby
with
for either
everyone.
snacks or perhaps a walk. Or,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is really cute. This frequency makes puppies go. His little head tilts. Isn't it so cute?
Oh, the worry with the
so
frequency is if
much.
it goes so high, its head could explode.
Look at this goat.
It really doesn't have a clue what's going on. Michael, you poor sweet thing. You don't have a thought behind those eyes, do you? Sweet boy. It really doesn't have a clue what's going on. Michael, you poor sweet thing.
You know who it looks
Patrick's
like?
terrifying
No, it looks
goats.
like-
He said they're literally safe and
Yeah, they are. But that reminds me of Jamie Oliver,
What?
the tongue,
Doesn't have a clue.
when he's cooking.
Yeah, that's true. This dog's so old he can't make a noise, and it's so funny because all the comments in
No.
it are like, breathe, bro, breathe. But look,
Big man, you looking swag! Speak up, man. The volume is up. The volume is up.
Left
Big
it.
man, you looking swag!
You know, he's up for it.
Speak up.
And his eyes,
Speak
he's
up,
giving
man.
it everything. He's giving it
The volume is up. The volume is up.
He's got no bark.
oh no. And there's also
So
this
in his
one.
case, his bark really isn't worse than his bite.
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. Dude, it's much about, oh no, he's got a silver tray. And I love this. These two kids are freestyle rapping, but they're just so adorable. And the boy in the white shirt's really good.
Right.
You ready, Tosh? Little Slime Jr., let's go. What else? What else? What else?
They're so cute.
Aren't they?
Hey.
Yeah.
Huh?
I got Pokemon for you.
Uh-huh.
You can get
Yeah.
This one?
Oh,
They're
bless.
so little.
Oh, that's so good.
I love them.
Yeah, they're good.
And this dog hates when he's on
Want me to be
to
back,
work.
okay?
Look at his arms, honey.
All right. It's okay. I love you. Okay. Mama gotta go. Want me to be
Because
back,
that I would
okay?
never leave him.
All right. It's okay. I love you. Okay. Mama gotta go.
Oh,
Mommy be back.
so cute.
I love this guy, and Kiki said he runs hurriedly.
Same way you show.
He's just so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking coffee.
Oh.
Come here. Do you love your mommy? You do? Do you love mommy?
Oh,
Is she her mum or her sister?
No, she's her mum.
Come here. Do you love your mommy? You do? Do you love mommy?
Oh, God.
So cute.
This made me laugh.
Look to your right. Then look to your left. Look any other direction you want to. Now look back at me. Okay? Hi. You're really lonely. I can tell, for one, because of your face, and two, because when you looked around, you saw no one. I'm really sorry. I'll be your friend. It's okay. This life is hard right now.
Oh.
You might need a shoulder to cry on. My account will be that shoulder, if you need it. I will always be posting shit. I'll be posting bad videos. But if you need me, I'm here.
I loved it. It was so funny because I was just in my room by myself and I was looking around.
And did you do it? Look
There's
left,
no
look
one
right.
banging it. Yeah.
immediately says,
Yeah, the dad just carries on building. It's so like every family. Dad just minding his own business, everyone's saying in the comments.
this is the way she plays.
And the dad doesn't even look up.
Flinch.
And the boys just...
Oh my god, what's the
Oh, it made me
commotion?
laugh. I just found this really funny. They're doing this thing where they're dancing and then go into reverse, but they just... It's just the way they do it.
Yeah?
They're really good though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's really
I
clever.
just loved it.
It'll be stuck in reverse.
I found this really sweet.
Oh my god. That's almost like Joe Witz's.
That was a big one.
Oh my god. That was a big one.
So sweet.
I don't know who that was. It was huge.
Oh, that's really funny. Think it was real?
Yeah.
Whoever it was, it might be a little embarrassed, so let's stop.
I still want you.
Oh,
It's so cute.
so funny.
So there's this guy and there's this site called Omegle, right? And it's kind of like a video chat room and it's strangers that
Oh yeah, I think you've
kind
shown
of
me
just
something
come
on here
straight
before.
onto-
Yeah.
So this guy's like really beautiful and he always goes onto it because he's trying to spread like non-toxic masculinity and show that men can be complement each other and it
Yes.
not be seen as weak or
Yeah.
So I just love these videos that he does.
Yo, you are the most feminine, manly looking being I've ever seen. Like, you look manly, but you look feminine, but you don't.
Alright, just for clarity, do we mean that in a good way?
Yeah. Like a Fabio type beat.
I feel you. Okay, thank you, man. Hello?
Bro, you look immaculate, dog. Dude, you are a beautiful man. I am striving to look like you right now.
You what?
Are you an actual model, dog?
I'm not.
Dude, you should model.
Thank you,
Like,
man.
I'm being dead serious.
Thank you. I respect the vision
Because
you
men
got
is
for
meant
me.
to.
Hey, and that voice is just top it off, dog.
No! Bro, like, teeth, hair, like, what's happening? Hair, like, what's happening? Why is it all just like, why is it all just like, good?
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm just saying, like,
I
everything's
love
all...
it.
That's very nice. I know why. Yeah.
Yeah. And this
Men
is really-
feeling comfortable complimenting men on looking great.
Yeah. This is really sad. This was the last video by the guy from this country.
Oh,
You
don't.
know the friend. I
Oh,
know.
don't.
So diligently. It wouldn't be the same show without you guys. And it's been an absolute pleasure making you laugh for the last 2 years. I really hope you look forward to some more. And I hope I'll be alive and full of testosterone for the next series. We'll see. Alright, toodaloo.
Oh, he's so sad. So she did times where she doesn't talk to her bird to see what it does. Give me a kiss.
It's like me with your mum. I'm the bird.
What you doing? Pupils as well, he's so cute, he's trying to kiss her. What?
It's amazing.
They're so strange, aren't they? They're so human. Like, I love
Oh
it.
my god, that's amazing.
Okay, I need you to stop. Okay, that's
Cat
enough.
crack.
That's in. Let's
Oh my god.
self-control, please.
I've got it. What is it?
It's like
Catnip.
Yeah.
What is it about that stuff that gets them?
They're grabbing her arm.
Oh my god. Oh. Ow, ow, ow. Bloody hell, what would happen though? Would they just explode?
Yeah, maybe. And this really made me laugh. Pete Davidson had an asthma attack with Kevin Hart on set. Look at this.
Oh God, this. Oh Jesus, not like this. All right, I can hold this down in here, okay? I want you. Yeah. I'm gonna figure out the move. Yeah, that's but very my friend, Pete. I'm 100% your friend, Pete.
Still be my friend. Oh, that's really sweet.
Cracking up whilst
Will you
having
still
an
be my friend?
Oh God, this. Oh Jesus, not like this. All right, I can hold this down in here, okay? I want you. Yeah. I'm gonna figure out the move. Yeah, that's but very my friend, Pete. I'm 100% your friend, Pete.
He's just sat there with this big
Honey,
and he looked so
you're
confused.
so confused.
Last one, just because I won't remember to show this next time.
Dark chocolate Oreos. What's up? Whippy on top. Target brand only. You know. Ready? What's up? Oh, okay. You scared of it? What the heck? Okay. Jeez.
Oh,
One for me then. Ready?
his hands.
What's wrong with you?
Someone in the comments were like, if he was my kid, I'd chase him with it.
Welcome. You want this?
Oh,
What the heck?
Yoda.
Alright, fine. Have the Oreo.
Oh, bless him. Oh, bless him. Shaking like a nutter.
Oh, there we go.
There you go on that note. Where's the squeezy cream? Let's do it.
We don't
Would
have
you
squeezy
shake?
cream.
We had squeezy cheese. We like that.
Yeah, it's all gone now.
Squeezy cheese is all gone. It's the headlines time, and I like it when my missus makes the news because you're one of the 10 most single-handedly body-influencing influencers.
I know a lot
on
with
the gram.
Beyonce. I know, I was so excited.
Who was above you?
Beyonce.
And
Well, no, I don't
just
think it was in order.
Beyonce. So it's Beyonce and then you.
No, I was number 10. But
Oh.
I don't think it was in order of. It was just the top 10.
Oh, okay.
They never
Okay.
said in order of.
Okay. Well, you are
So
a
I could have been
huge-
above Beyonce. I mean, who knows?
But you're a huge inspiration. So you know that you often tear your clothes off and waggle bits about. Would you mind doing it now?
I would hope that I'm more of an
Why do you keep
influencer for
walking
moving
round?
towards body confidence.
Yeah.
Because Beyonce always looks amazing, where most of the time I look shit.
Get your clothes off and I'll tell
I mean,
you.
it's easy for Beyonce to have body confidence.
Get your clothes off and I'll tell you. Good morning, everyone. It's the papers. It's the fun day papers, or the Sunday paper. Who used to call it the fun day papers?
I don't know,
Not a
it's
Sunday,
awful.
but a fun day.
And welcome to our new family guest to this section, because you will have never seen this. But it'd be interesting for you to go back over
Go and watch
past.
episode 1, yeah.
past No Name Sunday shows to see how fun the news was.
I thought this was describing me. Is this the biggest Burke in Britain? And it's Lawrence Fox again.
What's
So
wrong
I think
with him?
the swift answer to the question is yes.
What is wrong with him? He never used to be like this.
Lovey.
He was married to Billy Piper and we love Billy Piper. What's happened to him?
No, you can't judge her for making a huge mistake in love.
But they were together for years. How did she put up with him?
He got basically an exemption card, or what they call lanyard, that he can have round his neck, which he ordered online. He said, "I am exempt from wearing a face covering," and as people have said, reason why?
Apparently you can just get these on Amazon. I think they're an absolute disgrace.
It's ridiculous. Not only can you just get, you can make them. I mean, it doesn't prove anything. Surely there has to be only I think there needs to be a nationally sanctioned, issued device.
I do. I think you have to get it from the doctor.
Yeah, you have to get it issued from a doctor. You can't just have them. I can print one off without that strange machine.
But don't you
we've
think
got.
he is mocking it all
Yes,
by
of
doing
course he
that?
is.
That's why. Because
Why
of
would
course
you
it's
want
ridiculous.
to mock it? This is what I don't understand. It's all
Because
well and
he
good not
feels
wanting
that
to.
his rights are being taken away.
But he's one of the most privileged people from one of the most privileged families in the country. Even if his rights have been taken away for 6 seconds, is it really that much to go?
And as he's always said, he's always done whatever he wants all the way through this pandemic. Had lovely lunches and people around to his house. So Denise Van Outen is doing Dancing on Ice, and I'm really worried about this because I really like Denise Van Outen. She used to be on Loose Women, and she's such a lovely woman. What you see is what you get. Now, it is the most dangerous, apart from the jump.
Yeah.
Do you remember the jump?
Yeah, Did she do the jump?
No, I don't know, she might have done. I mean, which I could never believe anyone did. And I did Dancing on Ice, and I left in the first episode and I was eternally grateful because you realise very quickly the first time you have a fall, that this is unlike any other kind of fall. Falling on ice, I know this sounds silly, but it feels harder than a pavement, and everyone says that, and I don't know why that is.
Dancing on knives, you used to call it.
Oh, so you're dancing on knives on ice. It's almost impossible. I mean, the people that do well, I mean, they're extraordinary. Anyway, she's done the thing that we all do, is she's tripped on the little sort of jagged bit on the front of an ice skate that helps you stop. If you're just, a millimetre out, it can catch on the ice, which is exactly what happened to Gemma Collins with her famous fall. As soon as she got the job, she was working out every day. So she will have been going for this 100%.
But this is great for ITV.
It's great for
it's all
ITV.
over the front of the papers.
Of course it is. It's great for ITV. Brilliant. But I feel for her because she'll have worked her arse off for months, and now potentially she could not make it tonight. I'm going to be gunning for her because I really like Denise.
It looks like a dramatic photo. I do feel we can all sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccinations are going up, the cases are going down, spring is coming, all that kind of stuff. So I think, it's potentially positive. There's an interesting opinion piece in The Observer today entitled "Boomers are already dreaming of escape to the post-COVID sun." We all want to be able to go away. Everyone on an abstract level absolutely wants to be able to go away. As more and more of, over 50s, us and older, get jabbed, and we suddenly look at the world again, there's huge swathes of people who've been all over Instagram and all over social media sort of saying, oh, well, just another day at the office and on the one hand, it's great because we can our lot can also go, where will we go next year? But actually, for youngsters, not only are vaccinations a much longer way away, but they've also had the gig economy destroyed. They're sitting in their bedsits, they're being evicted, they're often living with parents. So, I think one of the things that this sort of opinion piece sort of talks about is maybe just us all having a little modicum of tact around the way in which we talk about these things.
I'm gonna move my stories around because this is a good one, follow on from that. Because a lot of people think that young people don't have a right to say anything.
That's so frustrating.
People have lived, they've worked hard for their money, blah, blah, blah. And I am, both of us are not obviously in agreement with that. We've always, right from the beginning of this pandemic, tried to see everybody's perspective, wherever they are, whether you're a single person that's missing your lover, whether you're an elderly person on your own, whether you're a young person who has all their dreams put on pause. I think it's really important that we don't stand in judgment of whose pain is the worst pain. And there's a piece in the Sunday Telegraph this weekend from a psychologist saying for the very first time in her career, she's having to turn people away because the numbers are so overwhelming of teenagers needing support. And she talks about how difficult it is, and I think we definitely have this on a daily basis. We talk about it in this week's podcast, actually, Confessions of a Modern Parent. And being able to judge when your child is just a teenager or when they're being devastated by the impact of this trauma. And it is a global trauma. I don't think it's over-exaggerated.
And I think also it's a fact to say that for teenagers, it's impossible for teenagers to work out the difference between what's real feeling and what's an induced feeling by the circumstances.
Exactly. She said, you know, the loss of social life and all this is massive for kids. This is where they get their stimulation. Their reward system is out the window. They're not getting endorphins.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say one of the most depressing byproducts of this whole crisis has been what I call the intergenerational intolerance that seems to have spread. I think there needs to be far more cohesion across generations, far more of a capacity to remember where we were when we were younger as the older ones. We are the elder ones. We are supposed to be steering our children through to their future. And it puts me in mind of my nanny Thelma, who was extraordinarily right-wing, but even she said, I'm not voting for Brexit. It's not my future. I think we need a little bit of that running to it. Just a quickie on the WHO. Toothless in China. The virus hunters, quite a great title for a Nat Geo documentary, isn't it? The virus hunters will trudge wherever they are allowed.
I know they're not allowed anywhere.
They're not allowed
to
anywhere.
Wuhan, they're not allowed to the lab.
They're not allowed to Wuhan, they're not allowed anywhere. They're locked in, they're in quarantine. And
they made them quarantine for 2 weeks when they got there.
It's such a joke. But all of this just is a reminder that around the time, well, here's the biggest news of all of it, that by all accounts, COVID-19 can be traced back to November the 17th, 2019.
This is a bit of a fun one. Well, it's not fun because it's still COVID, but I thought you might like this, Mark.
Yeah, go for it.
These are the new the gadgets that are on the way. The biggest
VR
the biggest
going
tech
through the
show
roof, you know.
ever. Right, so here they are. I thought you'd like this, Mark. There is a new COVID mask coming out. Now, what I like about that is you can breathe and you can have your mouth, you can see your mouth. And it's a proper surgical N95 mask, so nothing's getting in there.
Sounds right up your street.
So it's medical grade PPE. Please, God say we don't need these. Please say.
But cool.
It also amplifies your voice, so you can be a bit Darth Vader, which I don't like at all. It makes me feel like we're going into robot world. But I knew you'd love it.
Get me one.
I don't like the sound of it at all.
I can compete with the women.
It doesn't say when we can get it because they are still developing it.
Yeah.
You know what worries me about this? Is this because this will be a lot of money put into this?
Yeah.
And why would they do it if it's all coming to an end? It's because of future pandemics. That's what they're prepping for, aren't they?
Well, I don't want to go into that because I've read quite a few long, detailed pieces from National Geographic and
let's
scientists.
not talk about it then.
You really don't want to go there.
We don't want to talk about it. No. Okay, so, and then there's another thing, the patch that scans for COVID. So this is a 10-piece size like button thing, and it sticks to the skin and it monitors your temperature, respiratory, heart rate, all of that. Now, obviously, we've all got these watches that do that at the moment, but this goes up a step because it can. They say that it's got the same kind. You know, the flow tests. What are they called? That they haven't got a lot of good press, but it can detect COVID at that same amount, so 50%.
It's an expanding part of the economy, really, isn't it? Sort of COVID wear, COVID tech.
Yeah. So it's a bit like a PCR test.
Yeah.
So it can pick up the very early stages of infection.
This mask and this thing, this is about making COVID chic. There's going to be new COVID chic. I promise you. You check out the next London Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week. It's going to be masks and all sorts of stuff in it.
Just one more of these because I think you'll quite like this chap. So this is the wellness toilet designed by a Japanese firm, which analyses the user's key outputs, basically. So it's linked to an app that warns you if your diet is unbalanced and makes suggestions on how to improve it by eating, for example, more fibre. I'd love this because it means I could stop fucking saying it.
Are you trying to tell me that the only place and room I get peace from you, I could be nagged by my toilet?
Yeah, so analyses your waste. People with poor gut health are well known to be at increased risks of things like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and big on top of the list of that, of course, is depression. If you have an unhealthy gut, it's very likely you'll suffer from depression. Okay. And so I think it's a really cool idea.
I hate the idea of having my one sanctuary disturbed by a nagging loo.
I love this photo. Mark wasn't as moved as I was by it.
It's not
But
not
I
moving,
just
but-
find it. First of all, it was shocking because I thought, like you did, that it was
I thought they
hospital
were
beds.
beds,
But actually, it's vaccination stations. This is Salisbury Cathedral. And now we're so conditioned. The first thing I thought was, oh no, if I was going for my vaccine, that's where I'd like to go. Very high ceilings,
Yeah,
as
very
John
aerated.
says. It's very, very aerated,
yes.
and that's what you want. And you know, this is a
Very
real
close
fear.
though, aren't they?
Because my mum was saying that she had been asked to go somewhere for a vaccine, and she was really scared of going there because she said, that might be where I'll get it. She's more anxious than she says about
Yeah, and
it.
also once you've had the jab, apparently it's a good 2 weeks before you're kind of in any way immune. So you need to get out of wherever you've got it smartish. Obviously, the biggest news this week is the inauguration of Biden, and
I'm really excited about
I'm both
it.
excited and nervous. For saying this is the seat of global democracy, if you like, though, as I was trying to teach the girls the other day in homeschooling, you know, one's idea of democratic isn't always everyone's idea of democratic, depending on your background. But it kind of worries me that in Washington, they've got tanks on the streets, and they have 4,000 recognized threats that they're trying to target. It was just curious because there's a number of headlines in the press today where you'll see man stopped with gun near inauguration sort of area. Let's just pause that thought for a minute. It made me chuckle because we're talking about America.
Yeah.
A lot of people have guns.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stop most cars, someone will have a gun. I've had guns pulled on me whilst I've been in America. It's just a thing, you know.
Had your guns pulled on you when you were down?
I had guns pulled on me here.
Hill?
Do you remember our trip? If you're watching our Cornish tapes, our previous trip to Cornwall, when we were invited to stay in Carbis Bay, that's where the next G7 summit is happening.
What, in that hotel we were
Carbis
in?
Bay, on that Carbis Bay, the whole of St Ives.
Oh my
Boris
God.
Johnson has said we're going to Cornwall. They're taking everyone to Cornwall. So Biden is going to Cornwall.
I mean, we
I
love
think
Cornwall,
my-
but that's a pain to get to
It's
Cornwall.
I think it's
Where are
really,
you
I
gonna
think it's
get
really
them all
good.
there?
I think it's really good. It'll bring 50 million in for the local economy. I
Oh,
think
that's
it's
good.
really good for a sort of. I mean,
that's
often
great.
Scotland gets stuff, and I think for
Stay
probably
away
the
from my
poorest
Cornwall.
part of Britain, I think that's really good.
Oh, I see. I didn't realise it would bring the money.
But just imagine Biden and co and Boris running around on that beach.
Right, take a look at this.
Yes.
And what do you think about this?
Let's have a listen.
Before
Look.
I listened to you about the baby boomers booking their holidays, I saw this advert.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, isn't that nice that actually they're advertising with older people, and it's not just the social media influencers, Love Island, Perfect Bodies, but actually
That goes to
now
the heart of what we were saying.
It goes, from what you've said, actually this does go to the heart of what you're saying, and it's clever PR people looking ahead and seeing where they're going to get their money from, and it's actually another stab for the youth of today. But I really liked the photo because I thought, oh right, yeah, this is nice. Because we never see holidays advertised like that. Look. I thought you'd like this. So Kerry Mulligan and Rafe Fiennes are in a new film all about these archaeologists. And actually, it sounds totally terrifying what happened to Rafe Fiennes. So there's obviously some sort of an avalanche, not an avalanche. What's it called when mud falls? Not snow. What's it called? Mudslide? Something.
Mudslide, yeah.
Anyway, so he had to be buried under a lot of earth.
Right.
And Kerry Mulligan had to over and over again sort of dig him out, and she said she was genuinely petrified. She kept saying to the crew, I don't like taking responsibility for this, because he had nothing under there.
God.
He was properly buried alive.
Oh, God.
And so she said there was no real acting in it. The exhaustion is absolutely genuine because of the adrenaline and everything, frantically trying to dig him out. Oh, it's called the dig, yeah. She said it was absolutely terrifying. His mouth was covered, his nose was covered. But Rafe says that his biggest fear was because as the actors were trying to dig him out, he knew that they didn't know where his head was. So he was absolutely terrified that he was going to get punched in the face.
Oh, God.
And it just reminded me again of how
love
wonderful
actors.
actors are. You know, they will
Sorry,
do anything.
I've just got an image right now. Kerry Mulligan on the southern coast digging frantically, and Rafe under there going, what the fuck's about to
I
happen?
do hope I don't get smashed in the face.
I do love
But it
actors.
just, again, it's what we always say about actors. We love how they just throw themselves
Maddie
into
does this
stuff.
great impersonation where she says, this is what an actor, get in the fridge. Oh, yes, okay, absolutely. And she tries to climb into the fridge. Oh, no, go, oh, okay, I'll
you
go
want
on the
me in the fridge?
No,
Okay, fine.
oh,
What
by the
can I
fridge?
do?
No, could you be a fridge? Well, I'm sure I can try. Couple of, I saved all my cheery ones to last, so sorry. Basically, I thought this was a funny, puntastic headline. Not dry January, but high January. Apparently, US weed is flooding cities as we quit booze. So go for dry January, lots of people. And apparently there's a huge swathe of middle class people moving over to strong spliff and what have you, rather than drinking.
Yeah, because they're worried about the drinking, and apparently the dealers are delivering like crazy to people's homes, and it just apparently just on Snapchat.
Bez, alongside Bez, is the new Joe Wicks. I love Bez from the Happy Mondays. He's decided to do press-ups to keep him fit, and he's launched a YouTube channel. He's given up the ecstasy, but he still loves a bit of cider. But he just wants to keep fit because his girlfriend's a personal trainer. There's that. Sex and the City is coming back, just like that. Were you a Sex and the City fan?
Well, it's funny, I saw that and I thought, no, what, I never was. And people can never believe that I didn't watch Sex and the City.
Isn't that funny?
So I'll give it a look this time.
Yeah.
They brought 2 actors of colour in this time as well.
Good.
And
I think Kim Cattrall is not appearing in it. I think there's...
Welsh,
it was all a bit
It's got a bit awkward, isn't it?
And how a Scottish postie simple sea shanty struck a chord worldwide. Now, me and Maddie love sea shanties, and Maddie was singing them the other day, and in fact on my Instagram we were churning them out whilst doing Lego. And it's become a TikTok sensation, sea shanties. And Nathan Evans is one particular sea shanty singer.
Very stirring, aren't they?
Very stirring, but as he says, the great thing about them is it doesn't really matter if you're in tune or not. They're like football chants.
Yeah.
Everyone can have go. So I think you should perfect sea shanties.
Okay, maybe we should do our welcomes to family guests as a sea shanty.
Anyway, guys.
Thank you.
Moving on. Next section.
What's your family's favourite cake? It's been such a shit week for the girls. They've been so down. So I thought, when I was thinking about what would the family guests like, I was also thinking what our girls would like, because I think we're probably all in the same kind of place.
Yeah.
Chocolate fudge cake.
With Nutella.
No Nutella. It's a chocolate fudge cake. It's not a Nutella cake. It's a chocolate fudge cake.
Okay.
Made with good chocolate, cocoa solid chocolate, made with good chocolate, good butter, not Nutella with palm oil and pretend chocolate.
That's just wrong because there's no Nutella left.
Don't tell me.
Get your hand off my bottom.
In your dreams. Do I look a little tense? I have had a flaming nightmare just prepping the stuff for this cake. I mean, I could have done something different, but I've been obsessed all week that I want to make you a chocolate fudge cake because we've never made a chocolate fudge cake. Now, lots of people will make chocolate cakes and say it's a chocolate fudge cake, but it's just a sponge cake with like sticky icing on the top. And I wanted to make a chocolate fudge cake, but I haven't had the right bloody tins. I couldn't find the innards. I'd have everything out of the cupboard, in the cupboard, out of the cupboard. I didn't have self-raising flour. Then I didn't have light muscovado sugar. I've had a nightmare. So in the end, I've got 2 tins, one that's slightly bigger than the other, which you should never, ever do because that can cause a disaster with your cake. And they're not Springforth, so I've got them lined. I haven't got light muscovado sugar, so I'm using caster sugar and it won't make a blind bit of difference. And what else? I might not have enough chocolate for the icing, but I'll do something about that at some point. So I've got 250 grams of plain flour here, and I've added a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. We don't need baking powder otherwise in this cake because we want a chocolate fudge cake should be a bit denser. We don't want it light and fluffy and airy. We want it fudgy. I wouldn't advise using a wok. The only reason I'm using a wok is because Mark finds it very hard to film directly into a smaller saucepan. So we're putting in 100 mils of water, 250 grams of butter. It's not for anyone on the diet. 200 grams of caster sugar or light muscovado sugar. A lot of recipes would say 250 grams of sugar, but to be quite honest, I think we can take 50 grams out of that. 250 grams of dark 70% cocoa solids chocolate. Now, don't be tempted in a chocolate cake to use drinking chocolate powder, you will get like a pale, a bit insipid, because don't forget chocolate drinking powder is, and milk chocolate, doesn't really have that much cocoa in it, that much chocolate. A lot of it is, you know, cream or butter. I don't know why. That's one of my little sparks of joy. It's funny, isn't it? What do you take a spark of joy from? I'm just going to let that melt. Oh, this should be pretty as this happens, Mark. So we've got 100 mils of water. We've got 200 grams of sugar. We've got 250 grams of dark chocolate and 250 grams of butter. It's a small slice each. So there we've got my 250 grams of plain flour that I added a teaspoon and a half of baking powder to, but if not, just 250 grams of self-raising flour. To that, I'm adding 50 grams of cocoa powder. We want this to be really dark and very chocolatey. As I say, chocolate drinking powder won't get that chocolatey flavour. It will really be insipid. I mean, you can do it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it won't taste really chocolatey. 4 eggs ready. 4 large eggs. Don't know if they're exactly large. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Da 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 da, yeah, yeah. When we dance together and sing cheek to cheek. So that's nicely melted. So now I'm just going to leave that to cool before I whisk it into my eggs. What would happen if I whisked it into my eggs now, Mark?
We would cook the eggs.
So we'd get scrambled egg. Do we want scrambled egg?
No.
And I'd just like to point out, my laziness has caused a little problem. Now, what I should have done was sieved my cocoa and my flour together, and then I wouldn't have got little lumps of flour. So maybe that's what I should say to you, but I don't mind my little lumps of cocoa, but if you do, I would certainly sieve together my flour and cocoa powder. Mark!
Show us your eggs.
Show us your eggs. Show us your eggs. Show us your eggs. Eggs, 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 eggs. Show us your eggs.
You look like a chicken.
That's what I was trying to look like.
Yeah, you look
So I've
just
got
like
four
it.
eggs. I'm a bit worried about these eggs.
Don't worry that much.
Well, they don't look large. They're supposed to be 4 larger. I'm keep being tempted to add another small egg.
Have you seen these new eggs they've got that dyed a colour? You can get blue eggs.
No.
No, the yolks are blue.
Oh, I wouldn't like that. That's
And
not
there's
right.
green ones.
That's not right.
Green eggs.
Right, so just break up your eggs with your whisk. I'm going to pour this in. Ready, Mark?
Yeah.
Kiki, look at this. Chocolate pouring into eggs. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, does that look nice, Mark?
Lovely!
Oh, look at that. What's that advert? Oh, Mr. Lindor. Oh, you surprised me. Oh, Mr. Lindor, you're so... Ambassador, you surprised me. Something like that he says, doesn't he? For Lindor. Kiki, I just want to show this to Kiki because she loves this. She loves stirring chocolate. Okay, so we're now... Mark's going to be very excited because we're going to pour the chocolate again into the flour. Very heavy. Put it in the middle. Yeah. It's like an upside down volcano. Let's have poured it in the middle, and then I'm drawing in the flour from around the edges.
It's like the eye of a storm.
Yeah.
Hard work, Nads. You can do it.
Now, more lusciousness as we pour it into our different sized tins. Now, they're supposed to be 20 centimetre deep spring form. If you haven't got spring form, you can line them, but you know, who knows? So that's about half.
Splatty, splitty, splat.
Very sticky, guys. It's not like a.
It's
not like a, you know, a sponge cake. Sponge
No.
cake is light and fluffy. That's not what we're
Yes.
going for with the fudge cake. We want it sticky and dense. That's why we haven't got any extra baking powder or anything in. Girls are going to absolutely love this, because when you have this in a restaurant, it's always sort of catered chocolate fudge cake. It's very rare that it's homemade and it's sticky. It's nearly always fluffy. Okay, there we go. We have it.
They're going in the oven.
Going in the oven.
Boom. Boom, boom, shakalaka-laka, boom. Boom, boom, shakalaka, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, shakalaka, boom, 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 shakalaka, boom, 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 shakalaka, boom, 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 shakalaka, lock, lock.
Really helps with your ring, look.
Boom, bubble, bubble, bubble.
You look like an Oompa Loompa.
Oh, thanks, babe. Just one compliment after another today. There we go.
Do your Oompa Loompa dance.
But don't open it before that 20 minutes, because you will get.
Do Oompa Loompa.
Oh, they're small,
Oompa
aren't they?
Loompa,
Bum, bum,
Oompa
bum,
dee
bum.
doo. I've got a little something for you. Oompa Loompa, Oompa dee day. I'm gonna give you some today. Nat,
Oh my god!
Toffee saying it's smelling
Oh
hot.
my god, why didn't you call me? I've
Toffee
been
was
cleaning the
calling.
bathroom.
What's falling?
Oh my god, it's turned off. Oh god. I was going to check it at 20 minutes. It's supposed to be cracked like that, by the way, guys, so don't worry. It smells good. But the annoying thing is now the oven's turned off, so if it's not cooked, so you just put something, perfectly clean. Phew. God, could you have put a timer on? Has it been burnt? So I'm going to leave it in the tin for 5 minutes just to cool a bit. Then I'll put it on a rack. And then when it's really nice and cool, we'll make the fudge icing and we'll squidge it together. And then I'm going to call the girls and they can have cake. And me and you can't. Me and you can have bananas.
Bananas. They're disgusting bananas. Toffee, what are you having? What are you having, Toffs? Toffs
I've been
is
washing
so
the bathroom
fed up.
floor.
Toffs like, just give me something, anything. Chuck us a bone. Chuck us a bone.
Okay, so now those cakes are looking very different in size. But what I'll do for the gram is put this one nearer to the edge so we can't see that it's smaller. So we're going to make the icing now. I've got 100 grams of chocolate, and today I'm just going to blast it in the microwave. Usually I do it over the bain-marie, but today we're going to do the microwave. But what I would say is when you're melting chocolate in the microwave, do it every 30 seconds or maybe a minute depending on how much you've got, and then check it because you don't want to burn it.
Constantly keeping an eye out on what might be dropped. Hey, Toffs. Toffee.
And we thought we'd use the seasonal backdrop of the Christmas tree that is still up. If you're wondering why I've suddenly changed clothes, because I went for a run, I suddenly thought I've jumped out of nice bright pink to this. Okay, so 100 grams of softened butter, 100 grams of icing sugar. Make sure the butter's soft, you don't want it straight from the fridge. Question is, guys, I like the cracked look and I would like to put that on the top, but many a baker would make that the top. What do you think, Neil?
I prefer the cracked top.
I prefer the cracked top too. You need your cracked top. So Mark and I have just had an evil thought. We were going to just put chocolate cream in the middle, but we've just thought, wouldn't it be nice to have whipped double cream in the middle and chocolate fudge on the top? So I'm just going to whisk this up and then I'm going to whisk some cream. So just pour that in to your butter and sugar mix as we whisk. We have our gorgeous fudgy butter ice cream and we have beautifully whipped double cream with a little icing sugar.
Did you use a bullwhip for that?
I used an electric whisk.
Oh, you didn't whip it.
But I don't know what to do.
Oh. Do you want me to help you? Put the cream in the middle and then put this shit all over the top.
Don't call it shit.
I don't mean like literally
No,
shit.
but don't say that. It's horrible when we're talking about food.
I mean this shit as in... Have you not seen
No,
the
I
history
know.
of swear words?
No, I don't like
That's
it.
good shit.
No. But now I'm considering having a flat top. Or shall I put a bit of both? Shall I put some chocolate around the edge and some cream in the middle?
Oh.
I'd say chocolate.
Oh. She hath spoken.
But what on the top then?
Nutella. I thought we were going for the cracky bit.
No, that's what I'm saying, not if I'm spreading stuff on it.
Oh, I can't hang around here all night.
I don't
Get
know
on
what
with
to
it.
do.
Just decide. Toffee. Toffee, sit if it's cream in the middle. She sat.
Okay, cream in the middle.
She sat. Toffee.
in the middle.
Oh, and she's not even looking up. That is definitive.
Okay, cream in the middle.
Thanks, Toffs.
The kids will have to scrape this off now because they don't like cream.
Don't they?
No.
They're no child of mine if they don't like cream. They're no granddaughter of Nanny Thelma's if they don't like cream. Nanny Thelma lived for cream. Do you know what? There was something in football called goal hanging. You just used to hang around the goal waiting for a stray ball.
You're missing all this
No, I
gorgeous
know,
moment.
but Toffee is making me
swinging around looking at dogs.
What's wrong
This
with
is
you?
actually the cookery section of the show, not the bow wow section.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I like the size discrepancy.
I wish I'd whipped the cream a bit more. Looks a bit soft to me.
Looks like it's going to run out.
Yeah, I think that would look good for the gram. What do you
Oh.
reckon, folks?
The gram. Do you call it the gram, Maddie?
No, it's a piss take. That's what the Towie lot call it. Oh no, I've just slopped a bit on the side.
Oh, that's no surprise. Let's have a look. Let's show it to
No,
everyone.
don't.
Oh, Nads!
No.
That's bad shit.
Now, really, this icing is better if you put it in the fridge for a bit, just to thicken up. So, what would be nice if
Don't
you did this
excuse your work.
and then you put it in the fridge. No,
Have you got enough to go all around the side?
no, God, no, it's not going around the side.
No.
Because then we won't see the cream.
It looks like it's wearing a toupee.
Maybe we need to cut it into it.
It,
There you go.
babe, that is a cape with a wig on. Look at it,
It
from
does
this.
look like it's
Look at
got-
it from this angle. Look, no, look here with the quiff.
It does. Should we call it the toupee fudge cake?
Toupee fudge cake. It's got a toupee on.
It is weird.
It's better than the toupees that they do in films these
I think
days.
it looks any good. Do we want any of these around the edge?
No.
Nah. I don't know what we think about it.
Whoa, it looks like it's got a wig on.
It really does. Ooh. Oh my God, it's so sticky. It's very sticky cake.
Where does the fudge come from?
It's just, I don't know why it's called fudge actually.
It's just a description of the gooiness.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh shit.
babe.
Oh, sorry, subs.
Babe.
That looks terrible now.
Tops. She's just looking for any crumbs. Keep everything
God,
in.
look at that. It's really annoying. Should I try it?
Yeah,
Where shall I go?
just go for it. Jam it in. Come on.
Nice. Am I supposed to be saying something?
Yeah.
Book time. 2 cake book. Okay, so this bit was supposed to be Nanny Di doing her book review, but she couldn't sleep last night, so she's having a bit of a lie-in. She's fine, she's having a lie-in now. So we thought it'd be really nice to show you the very first book that we ever did. And I say we, because with all of my books, not the diet books, Mark has played a massive part in the books, you know, helping with the writing, the photography, all sorts of things. And this was our very first book. And I didn't believe I could ever do a cookery book. And Mark absolutely believed in me. I just won MasterChef, and he actually approached Nigel Slater's agent and said, I think this is a really good idea. Look, that's from Nigel Slater. Can you imagine what that's like on your first book?
I bunged him about £1,000
No, he
for
didn't.
that.
He
I'm
didn't.
joking.
And she took me on, this literary agent, and we did this book. And it's the book that we are most proud of. And it's a beautiful book. I mean, everything, you know, every little detail was about being Arabic and about my mixed heritage.
Yeah. And the title, I mean, don't
And the
ignore
title,
is so good.
Stuffed Vine Leaves Saved My Life, because
that.
this has always been a story within my family. My dad, when you were small, you had a blockage. We didn't understand the blockage. And we were giving you food and you would be sick and you would be sick. And then one day we gave you stuffed vine leaves. I swear to God, Nadia, I saved your life. Saved your life, the vine leaves. And actually then for years afterwards, I hated vine leaves. So that was the name of the book. And very unusual for a publisher to allow you to use such an
abstract. Yeah.
So look, it starts off with all these photos of my family. Look, that's Izzy. That's Izzy and Finley. That's Kiki. That's me, stuffing my face. That's our wedding. That's my dad in a movie. I can't remember which one. These are my cousins. Are you picking it up, Mark?
Yeah,
or is it
very, very
oh, look,
well.
there's
No,
Izzy
lovely.
and Fleur and Finley. That's my tater. That's how we say
So your dad's mum.
tater in nan in Arabic.
Your dad's mum.
My dad's mum, yeah. And that was a holiday that we took her to near Venice. And that's me in a deck chair. So this whole book is the recipes that I had growing up. Some of them with a twist of mine, but some of them just directly how my aunties or my mum or whatever made. I've got it, and it's a real mix of both sides of my family. So each recipe has a story from my family, Dr. Dad.
Do you remember the other title we were toying with was 1,001 Arabian Bites?
Yeah, but then we thought we'd have to do 1,001
yeah,
recipes
exactly.
and we were knackered. It was me and my sister when we had chicken pox. Look how beautiful my dad is. Look, Fleur and Izzy, my funky stepdaughters, Izzy and Fleur. Maddie.
Oh my God.
Kiki.
Oh, when she used to help me gardening.
I don't even know if this book is still in print.
Oh, look, there's me in Argentina.
How long ago was
You can
this?
still get it on Amazon.
Can you?
Yeah.
Look at me and Dina there. Look at Dina's long blonde hair. Oh, look how handsome my dad is there. And that's him in a movie. Yeah, so lots of old photos. Oh, look, there's my grandmother again. And so that's the whole story of my grandmother and how she used to bribe people with her chicken. This is one of my dad's favourite dishes, stuffed vegetables. And his sister, my Aunt Jamelia, who features quite a lot in this book, we always laugh because she always says, "My dear, I never met a vegetable that I couldn't stuff." And we go, "Carrots? I will stuff them. Bring me a carrot and I will stuff it." Yeah. So look, there's me stuffing a carrot, and there's little kid Canna. We used to sit out on the back step there when she was little, and she used to. That's my favourite breakfast of all time.
Your dad's breakfast?
And my dad's breakfast. And now the girls have it all the time.
Oh, look.
So you've got the more Frenchy, Spanishy stuff, the Mediterranean food that my mum loved. God, look at me and my sisters there in France. I was so fat on that holiday. But I'd look. Now this is Dina's favourite. This is the recipe she cooks the most from this book, and you can tell because look, it's all mucky.
There's hair in it.
There's hair in it and everything. Oh, that's my cousin, and Ilyas, and he's such a good cook. And my sisters, and there's me chomping. Look at that. I've always loved my food. Do you know how old I am now?
16.
17. I've just been travelling on my own for a year and a half. Oh, that's my favourite hangover sandwich. Cheese, coleslaw and cheese and onion crisps. So, you know, so it's got like quite English look. Oh, little individual chicken pies. Bikini. I think I made this for you the other day, the Arabici shepherd's pie, but I've put a new twist on it now. 1/2-inch macaroni cheese. Me and my sis drinking. Oh, fried chicken. I love this photo. Kiki. Egg and twigs, guys, is a really good way to get your kids to eat Marmite, and it means you don't have to do toast and soldiers. That's one of my all-time favourite dishes ever. Oh, look. Last one, that shawarma. Oh yeah. Proper Arabic kebab, divine. Yeah. So this is a book from my heart, me and Mark. We very much. This is both of our book, and it's going through my life and my family. Look, that's in this garden. Me and Dad doing a whole lamb.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's a beautiful book.
I like doing this, my cookery books in the No Name Sunday show. Do you like it when I do my cookery books in the No Name Sunday show? Do you like it?
Sadly, that is a description of how you have to do Teddy Talks.
Teddy Talks. Come on now. Teddy Talks. I know, I've got to do Teddy now, but I've got to do him on the Skype. And it's so annoying. But it's better than no Teddy. Teddy on a Skype is better than no Teddy.
Did I hear that he was feigning illness again this week?
He's been trying to get a lamb chop out of my sister because he's on for January. So he's got a cold sore and he's been using an excuse to have a lamb chop. So last night, Dina acquiesced and gave him a lamb chop.
He's such a kid.
She said, never mind the fact that he's probably got a cold sore because he's probably bringing out all the stuff, she said. He's detoxing. To call on Skype so we can get our Teddy Talks.
Do you think he'll be telling us about another date?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue what he's talking about today.
His experiences with women. Oh, a little bit of timing.
Where's Betty?
Betty is right there, across me.
How was your vegan Chinese?
Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, the meal was excellent.
Oh.
But generally speaking, vegan needs to be looked into.
Why?
Huh?
I've got constipation.
You can't have constipation as a vegan.
If you have, it's your fault. Nothing to do with veganism.
So what are you talking to us about today?
Well, I would like to talk about an event, almost a scandal.
Ooh.
Happened in London about the year 2000, around about that time. It's a national scandal, or national. In all the papers, it was very famous at the time.
Oh.
But I remember London 25 years ago. Huh? It was fantastic, yeah. There was so much life. You know, people spilling out of pubs on pavements, restaurants full. You know, and where you go to London now, it's such a sad sight. You know, but in those days, there was Tony Blair and Major and Princess Diana. There was an awful lot, and there was a political scandal as well. Oh. If you remember, I think one of the MPs, Neil Hamilton.
Yes.
I think he was a conservative, and he accused Al Fayed of corrupting the British MPs.
Oh yes, that's right.
That's an achievement. When I asked Al Fayed later on, I said, "Did you corrupt them? Did you pay them bribe?" He said, "No, they asked for the money. I gave it to them."
just to make sure so people understand, this is Dodi Fayad's dad, Al Fayad,
who owns
Harrods.
Yeah, and he was hauled up to court, by the MPs, and he won the case. And then the BBC decided to do a film about it. And it was called Justice in Wonderland. And I was cast to play a Fahid.
Ah.
Oh, you were brilliant.
Yeah, and you know, the show was on one night, and next morning, this friend of mine invited me to lunch at Harrods.
Oh.
To see my reaction to
Oh my
the place
God.
I own, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, at lunch, one of the waiters recognized me as the man who played Fahid the day before. So he went and told him. He said, the man is here.
Oh my God.
Look, when he gets to the pudding and the coffee, ask him to come and join me.
Uh-huh.
He was in the restaurant somewhere having lunch with some friends of his. And, okay, so I took my pudding and my coffee and went to him. He said, yes, the guy who played me. He said, yeah, very good, he said. Just a minute, he said, I think you are too short for the part.
Did he? Was he joking?
Yeah. And then he stood up next to me, and I was about half an inch shorter. He said, there you are, no good. Not enough height. I thought I'd better let it go, you know.
I won't have the argument about the half inch.
And then he said to me, is your girlfriend here?
Uh-huh.
I said, no. I haven't got a girlfriend. To me, he said, why? Anything wrong? This is Harris, we can fix it, you know. I don't know what he meant, but I was suspicious. Anyway.
So what did you answer when he said why not?
I said, I've got a wife.
Oh. Love you, Dad.
I'm a married man.
Good man.
You know? And he said, oh, all right. Okay. You're that kind of person, good luck. Anyway, I spent about 15 minutes, you know, at the lunch, and we talked a lot about everything. He's Egyptian. The Egyptians are marvelous talkers. You know. You can't stop them, and they're very funny people. Very sweet, very funny people. Anyway, by the end of it, he said, yeah, thank you very much. He said, I'll send you a teddy bear.
He didn't, did he? I didn't know this.
You know, they were very famous at the time. You couldn't get hold of them.
Was this instead of a girlfriend?
You couldn't get hold of them.
You know, as a reward.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, about 2 weeks later, a car arrived with 2 teddy bears in it. Great big things. I gave them to charity.
You should have torn them open. There might have been money in them.
Not with Muhammad, no. No. But anyway, when I finished, when I said bye-bye to him, he said, what are your plans? I said, well, after, you know, sitting with you, lovely 15 minutes, I'm going to write a one-man show about you. He said, are you? I said, yes. He said, well, if you need help, you know, give me a shout, I can help you. I said, well, you know, writing a play is a very personal thing, Muhammad, you know. I don't think I would. And then, you know, I wrote the play, which is called, you remember you came to
yes,
Bath.
very well.
Yeah. I must say, all I want is a British passport. You see? And we put the show on, and he sent his lawyer, I think, to watch it. But they told me he's coming tonight, so I was terrified. It was, I think, the first night. It was at the Actors Centre.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, with him sitting there in the front row.
Oh, God.
My God.
Thankfully, he sent his lawyer, and his lawyer said, came to me, he said, well done, you know, it was spot on. He said, absolutely marvelous. I said, but why didn't Muhammad come, you know? He said, oh, Muhammad, one-man show. He said, Muhammad doesn't believe in one-man show. 1,000 men, yes. Elephants in Knightsbridge, yes. Pharaohs in Harrods, yes. One-man show.
Oh, God.
Riley said, anyway, so that's it. A lunch at Harrods 20 years ago, and a different world we lived in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's a brilliant
That's
story.
such a lovely story.
So brilliant.
My dad has got so many stories, it's actually unbelievable.
He's like a walking book.
Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you
Love
too.
you.
You're my little bauble.
Oh,
So,
guess what? Next Sunday we won't have a Christmas tree here.
oh my God, so this is the last one with Christmas.
Easter.
Festive. Christmas. Nads, can you please get your... Is that your hand on my arse? What
No,
is
it's
that?
your own hand on your own arm.
So it is. Get it off. Anyway, episode 54 done.
And welcome to our new family guests. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and don't forget to scroll back and watch all 50, how many of them?
54 including this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your hand back.
Mark, it's your own hand. You can see both my hands.
Toffee. Is it toffee?